So assignment related to groups, and mainly we'll discuss about group 2 and group 7, the questions related to the topic. The first question, potassium halide, which is KCl, KBr, and Ki, can react with concentrated sulfuric acid to produce. So what could be the product which is formed when concentrated sulfuric acid is reacting with the potassium halide? So for whenever, like example, if we have sodium halide or potassium halide, first there is an acid-base reaction. Like example, if you have KCl reacted with H2SO4, so as a result, it will produce K2SO4 plus HCl, or it can produce potassium hydrogen sulfate, or KSO4 can also be produced. So both possibilities are there. So we can also write KHSO4, potassium hydrogen sulfate plus hydrogen chloride. So hydrogen halide is produced. Same way if we have originally KBr, because then hydrogen halide in which chloride ion further react with sulfuric acid, which undergo a redox reaction. But the first one is known as the acid-base reaction. Why it is an acid-base reaction? Because acids are proton donors and bases are proton acceptor. H2SO4 is donating proton and KCl is accepting proton. Same way when it react with KBr, H2SO4 reacted with KBr, the first reaction it donated proton, so it will form KHSO4 plus HBr. And the third one, if potassium iodide is there, Ki plus H2SO4. As a result, it will form KHSO4 plus HI. So when it reacts with concentrated acid, what is always the product? Always the product is hydrogen halide, because hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, and hydrogen halide. Then this hydrogen halide further react with more sulfuric acid and undergo a redox reaction. If it react with hydrogen iodide, it will reduce sulfur to lower oxidation number as compared to hydrogen bromide or hydrogen chloride. So in this case, A is the right answer. These products will be there, but these products are not in the first reaction. These products, when the hydrogen, like example, if potassium hydrogen bromide is further react with sulfuric acid, it can give sulfur or sulfur dioxide. And same way, iodide is reacting with sulfuric acid, give hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur. But as they all can react, if we have hydrogen chloride cannot reduce sulfur to lower oxidation number. That's why chloride ions are not good reducing agents. So as it cannot undergo further reduction of this sulfur in this sulfuric acid, that's why we don't get any of these products. So the product which is common when all these three react with sulfuric acid is hydrogen halide. Is it clear? Question 1. Then which of these metal salt gives a lilac color during a flame test? So lilac or purple, that is due to potassium. So which one is having a potassium? Only one of them is having a potassium. So that's why B is the right answer. For question 3, which trend of a solubility of a group 2 is descended? So solubility of sulfate, for solubility of sulfate, it decreases as we go down. Like sulfate at the top of the group, like metal sulfate or metals at the top of the group 2, their sulfates are more soluble as compared to bottom. But solubility of hydroxide, nitrate, it always increases down the group. So which one it matches with? It matches with option B. You have to learn these periodic trends. In question 4, iodine thiosulfate titration is carried out with a thiosulfate in the burette and iodine solution in a conical flask. So we have, if an indicator is not used, like we don't use indicator, what will the color change? So what is the reaction here? Basically, the iodine molecules are there in a conical flask, and in the burette we are adding thiosulfate. So when iodine react with thiosulfate, this iodine molecule as a reaction, this iodine molecule convert into iodide. Iodine molecule in the absence of starch, it is either orange or yellow. If it is like high concentration, even brown is acceptable. Like you can say yellow or you can also say brown. And when we check the options, so clear, there's a, what is the difference? Like example, the color disappear. You can have a green clear solution. Clear solution means the solution, like example, might be green in color, but it is clear. Clear solution refers to like it can allow the light to pass through, but it does not show the nature of the solution, the color of the solution. There's a difference between a clear solution. Like example, if I take a water and I add a drop of ink to water, and that like drop of blue into water, so the whole water will turn blue. But when I say about the nature of the solution, it will be a clear solution. Clear solution means I can easily see through the solution. So in the question they're asking, if an indicator is not used, then the color change. So first thing we have to identify, either in the presence of iodine it will be yellow, or if brown is acceptable but orange is also there. It depends on the concentration, but normally yellow or orange is when iodine is a high concentration yellow. Sorry, high low concentration yellow, high concentration brown or orange, acceptable both. But when we add thiosulfate, iodine react with thiosulfate, iodine molecule turn into iodide ion. So when iodide ion is there, this is colorless. It does not have any color. So what will happen? The clear solution are not showing any nature. So we are left with pale yellow to colorless or blue black to colorless. So blue black to colorless is valid if there was a starch present in the question. But because in the absence of starch, if starch is not there, then it will be light yellow or pale yellow to colorless. That's why A is the right answer. Is it clear, discussion? That why we select option A. Then which of the following is not true for hydrogen halide, hydrogen bromide, and hydrogen iodide? So these halides, when we check these halides, so most of the thing related to this chapter is about memorization, memorizing the color, appearance. So they form a white smoke when come in contact with ammonia vapor. That is true, because if hydrogen chloride is there reacted with ammonia, so it will produce ammonium chloride. That is a dense white smoke. If hydrogen bromide is there reacted with ammonia, as a result it will produce ammonium bromide. That is a dense white smoke. If hydrogen iodide is there reacted with ammonia, as a result it will also produce ammonium iodide, dense white smoke. So this is valid. Dissolve in water to form strong acid. That is true, because when we add them to water, they give out proton and lose their proton. So that's why they form strong acid. That's true. Usually prepared by action of sulfuric acid on sodium halides. So we don't produce them by reaction of sulfuric acid. What is the reason for that? Because when sulfuric acid is reacting with sodium halide like sodium chloride, sodium bromide, there's an acid base reaction initially. So when sodium chloride is mixed with sulfuric acid, as a result, it will produce sodium hydrogen sulfate plus HCl. But this HCl react with sulfuric acid, but it does not cause any oxidation or reduction. But same thing happen if we have like sodium bromide is there, NaBr, and we mix with sulfuric acid, H2SO4. As a result, it will produce sodium hydrogen sulfate plus hydrogen bromide. And this hydrogen bromide, which contain a bromide ion, which is a better reducing agent. So as a result, what it might produce sulfurate bromine. So here sulfur is +6, change to 0, or it might produce sulfur dioxide and bromine. So sulfur dioxide oxidation number of sulfur is +4. So these are the products which it can produce. So this we cannot prepare these all the hydrogen halide. Okay, hydrogen chloride can be prepared, but hydrogen bromide and iodide, they further react with sulfuric acid and they reduce the sulfur to lower oxidation number. That's why we don't use this technique to prepare all of these hydrogen halides. And they produce a steamy fumes when in a moist air, because when they mix, like example HCl is mixed with water, or ammonia hydrogen bromide mixed with water, so that combination will produce a steamy fumes. So for question 5, C is the valid answer. In question 6, which of the following statement about electronegativity is true? Electronegativity means tendency of an element to attract the shared pair of electron. So when we move across the period, because the size is decreasing, so what happened to electronegativity? Electronegativity increase. And as we go down the group, the electronegativity decrease because the size is increasing. So what is the trend? When we check the options, non-metals have lower electronegativity. That's wrong, because non-metal have higher electronegativity. Electronegativity decrease across the period. That is wrong. Electronegativity decrease as we go down. That's true. That's why C is the right answer. And bond between atoms with equal electronegativity are always weak. That is not the statement, because like even high bonds is strength depend on the bond length rather than electronegativity. So C is the right answer as we go down, because the size is increasing. So tendency of an element to attract the shared pair of electron is decreasing. In which series of compound does the covalent character increases? The covalent character here refers to like the one which will have a greater difference in the electronegativity will form ionic. So when we check the options, so we have sodium chloride, magnesium chloride. So we want covalent character. If like what is the concept of the covalent character? That when the electrons are transferred in ionic, because there is a covalent character of ionic compounds and there is a ionic character of covalent compound. So for ionic compound, what is the concept of covalent character? It means the polarization, the tendency to polarize. So when we have sodium across the period, the size is increasing. So sodium is there, Na is plus, larger in size than chlorine is larger compared to sodium, but compared to other positive ions, it is larger. When we check magnesium, it is smaller in size and greater charge. As we are going from left to right, like on the left hand side to the right hand side. So magnesium is there and chloride, then aluminium. So what happened when we see the electronegativity, the charge is increasing and the electronegativity is also sorry, the charge is increasing and the electronegativity is also increasing. So when we compare the polarization here, sodium will cause less polarization to chloride compared to magnesium, and magnesium will cause less polarization compared to aluminium. So as the polarization increases, it means the covalent character will also increases, or the tendency to form a covalent bond will also increase. So as when we move from left to right, the tendency to form a covalent bond increases or covalent character increases. That's why A is the right answer. Is it clear? And going down the group, the covalent character, because the polarization decreases, so covalent character will also decrease. So when if lithium iodide is there, then sodium iodide is there, and potassium iodide. Potassium is larger compared to sodium. So when they iodine will cause more distortions of more covalent character. Sorry, lithium will cause more distortions of more covalent character. Sodium will cause less distortion compared to lithium, so less covalent character. So covalent character of ionic compound refers to tendency to behave like a covalent bonding or tendency to polarize. And that tendency to polarize depends on the size of the ion should be small and the charge on the ion should be more on the positive ion. Is it clear? Question 7. Question 8. Going down the group from calcium to barium, what happened? Like we have calcium to barium. The first ionization energy of element increases. That's wrong. The first ionization element decreases because calcium is having 2 electrons, barium is also having 2, but far away. So it decreases ionization energy. It is easy to remove electron from lower element in the group. The strength of a metallic bond increases. The metallic bond strength depends on the positive and the negative ion. Positive ion, the lattice of a positive ion. So the size of the positive ion should be small in the lattice so that they can attract the electron easily. So the strength, because when we have a lattice of a calcium lattice will have smaller positive ions, so they will have more attraction towards the electron as compared to a lattice of barium. So it won't be accurate. So as we go down, the metallic bonding, the melting point will also decreases for metals. But here it is written increase, so that's wrong. The polarizing power of the charge plus 2 ion decreases. That's true because, like example, calcium is plus 2 charge but is smaller. Barium is also plus 2 charge but size is larger. So when they polarize, chloride ion will have more distortion when it is attached with calcium rather than same chloride ion attached with barium, because for polarization or the covalent nature, covalent character, the size of the positive ion should be small and the charge on the positive ion should be larger. That's why C is the right answer, that less polarizing power. And stability of a nitrate, thermal stability always increases. Even it is this is about thermal stability. Thermal stability always increases because if calcium is causing more polarization to chloride, so it can dissociate or it can break down easily the compound. But because the barium is causing less distortion to the chloride, so it will be more stable and it need more energy to separate. So for question 8, C is the right answer. Question 9. A white solid produced when it is heated but no other gas is there. What could be the white solid? So the white solid is producing oxygen gas. So which substance produces the oxygen gas? Either when we heat nitrate it produce oxygen gas, thermal decomposition, because carbonate, thermal decomposition of carbonate produce carbon dioxide, and thermal decomposition of hydroxide will produce steam. So when we dissociate nitrate and the two nitrates, potassium and sodium nitrate, when we heat them, if potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate, as we heat them, they decompose into potassium nitride plus oxygen, and sodium nitrate decompose into sodium nitride plus oxygen. But lithium, because it is smaller in size, so it causes more distortion to nitrate ion, which decompose into lithium oxide plus nitrogen dioxide, which is a brown gas, and oxygen. And strontium nitrate, when we supply heat, so it will produce strontium oxide, group 2 plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. And calcium oxide does not decompose on heating. It can melt, but it does not decompose. That's why B is the right answer. Is it clear? Question 9. So it is important that you learn these decomposition, the products. Another question. A solid is soluble in water and produce steamy acidic fumes with concentrated sulfuric acid. So when acid react with, like sulfuric acid is reacting with potassium carbonate, it gives potassium sulfate plus carbon dioxide. So this won't be. Magnesium sulfate plus sulfuric acid, so it won't give any positive result. Silver chloride plus silver chloride is, most chlorides are soluble except silver, mercury, and lead, so it does not react. When sodium chloride is there, NaCl, because what happened when NaCl is mixed with sulfuric acid, first there is an acid base reaction, so it will produce sodium hydrogen sulfate plus HCl, and that is actually the misty fumes or acidic fumes are there. When they will come in contact with ammonia solution, it will make or turn into a dense white smoke. Then a color is observed in a flame test due to. So basically why we observe the color, as we discussed, that when we place on the hottest part of the flame, the electron actually absorb energy and it jump. But that time we don't see a color, but when electron, because it does not belongs to this shell, so it has to return back to its original shell. As a result, when electron return, it release energy, and that energy correspond to a characteristic color. So electron jumping to higher and absorb energy, that is happening, but that is not the release. This happened, but that is not due to release of the energy, that is absorption. Electron jumps and emitting energy, that is wrong, it absorb energy. The first statement is true but not explaining why we see the color. Electron drop from higher level and absorb energy, that is wrong. The electron drop from higher level and emit out energy, and when it emit out energy, that energy correspond to a characteristic color. Is it clear? Question 11. So you will find even a structure question in which they ask, explain why there is a flame color. So you should write that electron absorb energy, jump to higher level. When the electron return, it release a characteristic color and correspond to that difference in the energy level. In question 12, the best way to confirm the presence of iodine in an aqueous solution. So how we can check the presence of iodine? Iodine means I2, not iodide ion. It is about iodine molecule. So if you want to test, because iodine, when we mix with organic solvents such as hexane, so it will form a purple layer. And basically what happened, iodine is there in aqueous solution, like the iodine is mixed in water. So if it is low concentration, it will be yellow. But when we add hexane here, which is an organic solvent, as a result, what happened? This will turn to purple. So this will form a purple layer. So adding hexane to form a purple layer, that's right. Adding hexane to form orange layer, it does not form orange layer. It form a purple or pink. If low concentration pink, add acidified silver nitrate. So this is a test for ion. This is a test for iodide ion like chloride, bromide or iodide. But this is not the test for iodine molecule. That's why in the bold they write iodine. Iodine, it means I2, not iodide ion. So the silver halide test or silver nitrate test cannot be done on the molecule. It is for the halide ions such as chloride, bromide or iodide. In question 13, when a solid sample of sodium carbonate and magnesium carbonate are strongly heated. So when we heat sodium carbonate, potassium and sodium carbonate and hydroxide, they are stable to heat. So does not decompose. But magnesium carbonate decomposes into magnesium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So magnesium carbonate decomposes, but sodium carbonate does not decompose. So for 13, C is the right answer. Another question, question 14. As group 2 is descended, like as we go down the group, what happened to solubility? Remember, solubility of hydroxides and nitrate, as we go down, it increases. But solubility of a sulfate, as we go down, it decreases. It becomes less soluble. So solubility of hydroxide increases, whereas sulfate decreases. So that's why B is the right option. The correct balance equation for reaction between magnesium and steam include the state symbol. So when magnesium is reacting with steam, the product for this reaction, so it will produce magnesium oxide plus hydrogen gas will be there. So magnesium is solid and reacting with steam. So when we check the state symbol, so D cannot be an answer because in D water is liquid and A water is liquid. So they are totally wrong. We are left with B and C. But when magnesium react with steam, it will produce magnesium oxide. That's why C is the right answer. Like in terms of reactivity, potassium, sodium and calcium can react with cold water. Rest other can react with steam. And lead and below cannot react with cold water or steam. This question is concerned about the trend in group 2 as we go down. What happened to solubility? Sulfate, it decreases, but for hydroxide, it increases. So sulfate solubility decreases and hydroxide increases. That's why B is the right answer. So as you can see, you have to learn this trend that what happened when we go down the group. In question 17, what are the trend in thermal stability? Thermal stability of all the compound, it increases. Because why they become more stable as we go down? Example, if I say lithium carbonate, so lithium is smaller in size, so it causes more distortion to carbonate compared to sodium carbonate, which is larger in size, so it causes less distortion to carbonate ion. So if cause more distortion, it can break easily because the ion is less stable. Here less distortion, so it cannot break easily, so ions are more stable. So even it is carbonate, sulfate, nitrate, the thermal stability. Thermal stability means temperature at which they break down or decompose. So as we go down, it increases for all. Even if with hydroxide, you will also mention it increases. What are the trend in first ionization and electronegativity? First ionization means energy needed to remove electron because as we go down, the size is increasing. So if the size is increasing, it becomes much more easy to remove electrons. So ionization energy decreases. But electronegativity tendency to attract the shared pair or electron from the last shell. So because the electron is far away from the nucleus, so electronegativity is also decreasing. So for question 18, the ionization energy decreases and tendency to attract the electron pair will also decrease. Then which silver halide is cream colored, which darken in sunlight and dissolve in concentrated ammonia? So concentrated ammonia can dissolve silver bromide only, it cannot dissolve silver. If we have silver chloride, it is soluble in both dilute ammonia and concentrated ammonia. Both solution can dissolve silver chloride. And all these halides, they turn dark when exposed to sunlight as the formation of a silver. And if it is AgBr, if we have dilute ammonia solution, it won't dissolve, but if in a concentrated, it will dissolve. And silver iodide, even it is a dilute ammonia or a concentrated ammonia, it is insoluble, does not dissolve. So they give you the hint, dissolve in concentrated solution, and it is a cream colored precipitate. So that's why C is the right answer. So again, this is related to memorization. You have to learn these colors as well as the products. When concentrated sulfuric acid is added to sodium bromide, bromine is produced. When concentrated sulfuric acid is added to solid sodium chloride, no chlorine is produced. What is the reason? Because what it shows, when sodium bromide is there reacted with sulfuric acid, the first what happened, there's an acid base reaction. It will form sodium hydrogen sulfate plus hydrogen bromide, and this hydrogen bromide or HBr further reacted with sulfuric acid and it reduced the sulfur to lower oxidation number. Like example, might produce sulfur dioxide and might produce sulfur and bromine molecule, because bromide ion is oxidized and sulfur is being reduced. But when we repeat this same procedure, like example, if sodium chloride is there reacted with sulfuric acid, then it will produce sodium hydrogen sulfate. There is an acid base reaction plus misty fume, that is HCl, and this HCl cannot further react because chloride ions are not able to reduce the sulfur to lower oxidation number. Its oxidation number does not change. That's why the chloride ions are weak reducing agent. They are not able to reduce the sulfur to lower oxidation number. So C is the right answer. 21. The compound X is a white solid. On heating, a colorless acidic gas is given off, and a flame test was carried out. The reddish flame is there. So if it is a reddish flame, this gives an idea it might be calcium. Or it can be, because calcium is brick red, or strontium. Might be calcium, might be strontium. But there's a colorless gas. When we decompose calcium nitrate, so on decomposition, what it produce? It will produce the product of decomposition of calcium nitrate. What it produces? It produces calcium oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. So there will be a brown gas. This also strontium nitrate will produce strontium oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. So there will be a brown gas. So we are left with calcium and magnesium. But magnesium does not produce a flame color. So calcium is there, which is a brick red. And when we decompose, it produces calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, which is an acidic gas. And carbon dioxide is colorless as well. So B is the right answer, that the compound is calcium carbonate. Which of the following does not apply to element magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium? Their oxides are all basic. Metal oxides are there, group 2 oxide. They tend to form a basic oxide. So that is correct. Their hydroxide will have a formula of MgOH2. That is also correct. Like when we write magnesium hydroxide, we write MgOH2. Calcium hydroxide, as they have a valency +2. and become more soluble as you go down. Solubility of hydroxide increases, that's true. Their oxide react with water to form metal hydroxide. So that this option 22, their carbonates all decompose on gentle heating. So their oxide react with water. If mixed with water, they can form metal hydroxide. That is true. But when you check their carbonate, all decompose on gentle heating. Means they can decompose at low temperature or small amount of energy. That's wrong. So which does not apply to these elements. That D does not apply to these elements as their carbonate need a strong heating to decompose into metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. So not by a gentle heating. The elements, four pair of elements are there. Which pair would give the greatest ionic character? Greatest ionic character means one which will have a greater difference in the electronegativity. Greater difference in electronegativity leads to a greater. So this will be 4 minus 0.7, so 3.3. This difference will be 2.8. Difference will be 3, and this difference will be 2. So when we check, the greatest one is for A. So greater in the difference in electronegativity, greater the ionic character.